What's up guys, it's Danta. Now today I wanted to show you some of my favorite add-ons, along with a few that are just nice to have in general. Now the reason why is because a lot of people have been asking questions like, what add-on is this? Or how do you make your quest interface look like that? So I figured I'd just make an add-on video for you guys. Now, before we get into it, if you are a completely new player and have no idea where to download add-ons, all you need to do is download Curseforge, and from there you can get all of the add-ons that I'm going to show you. Now I will have a link to Curseforge's website in the description below, along with links to every other add-on that I will mention in this video. Anyway, let's get started with the add-ons. So let's start with details. This is an add-on that shows your DPS and so much more. Honestly, I think they should have just made this a baseline feature in WoW, but since it isn't, the only way right now to track your DPS or healing is by using an add-on. Now there are other options out there as well, but in my opinion, Details is the best. The main reason is because Details has so many options that you can mess around with and basically have your DPS meter look exactly how you want. Now a lot of people have been asking me, how do you make your DPS meter look like that on your screen? Well, the answer is actually really simple. There's a Details DPS meter skin that you can download on Curseforge called Details Skin the War Within. After you download it, go back to the game and type /reload to activate the add-on that you've just downloaded. Then all you have to do is click on the cogwheel icon, go to skins and find the drop-down menu right under skin selection. In the drop-down you will see a skin called the War Within. All you have to do is select it, and after that your Details DPS meter should look exactly like mine. Now most people probably use this add-on just to track their DPS or healing, but you can actually use it to track so much more. If you hover over the sword icon, you can choose what you want to see. Details can show you damage or healing related things, but if you go to the miscellaneous section, it can also track things like how many interrupts or dispels someone has used, how many times someone has died, or even who used their cooldowns. Like I said, it has tons of options. Now if you want to have two windows open, for example one for healing and one for damage, then you can do that too. All you have to do is just hover over the cogwheel icon, go to window control and add an extra window from there. That's it for Details. It's a nice add-on to have, and depending on the content that you are doing, it might even become necessary. Now maybe one day Blizzard decides to implement a DPS meter as a baseline feature in the game. I have no idea, but until then, I would highly recommend using Details DPS meter. Next up we have Teleport Menu. Now this add-on is amazing. As someone who mostly plays WoW right now to collect all the things, I have to constantly move between expansions, which means I'm using Hearthstones and teleport spells a lot. With this add-on, I no longer have to open up my toy box or spellbook to click on a Hearthstone toy or a teleport spell. And sure, you might say, hey idiot, why not just put those Hearthstone toys or teleportation spells on your action bar, you know? Well, yeah, I know that I can do that, but why bother when there's an add-on that lets you simply press escape and pick whichever Hearthstone or teleport spell that I want to use. Now after installing Teleport Menu, all you have to do is press escape and you will see a menu displaying all of your available Hearthstones and teleports. This also includes teleportation items that you can make with professions. Now I love this add-on and it literally changed my life. So one thing that I'm still sad about is how they changed the way damage numbers or combat text used to look. Back in the day when you deal crit damage, the numbers would pop up really big on your screen and you would be like, holy shit. Or if you dotted up a bunch of enemies or even started blade storming, you'd see a lot of damage numbers flying all over your screen. It was so satisfying, at least for me. Ever since they changed it, it's just like, you know, they probably did it to make things less chaotic and more clean, which I completely understand, but man, I'm not gonna lie, I just want to see big numbers on my screen when I crit something for a ton of damage. That's why I use ClassicNumbers. This add-on makes your combat text look almost the way it used to, which, yeah, can be a little chaotic, but I love it. So if you are someone who misses those big, satisfying numbers popping up on your screen, I definitely recommend checking out ClassicNumbers. So the next add-on is called Plater. Now honestly, I can't play WoW anymore without it. Now whenever you play World of Warcraft without a nameplate add-on, the default nameplate looks like this. But when you download Plater, they change into this. Now in case you did not know, if you press V, unless you change the keybinds, it will show you all of the nearby enemy nameplates. Now with this add-on, you can see so much more information on and under the nameplates. For example, you can see how much HP an enemy has left, whether they are casting a spell, and if the cast bar is gray, it's not interruptible, but if it's yellow, it is. It even shows you which mobs you have aggro on whenever you are tanking by just changing the nameplate's color, which I like a lot, especially as someone that always ends up being the tank. Now the best thing about Plater is that it's fully customizable. If you type /Plater, you will open up the settings window, and here you will be able to customize anything that you want. For example, let's say you want to change the nameplate's color of hostile enemies. Then all you have to do is go to color/thread, click on hostile under override default color, and change it into something like purple. Now while there are a ton of options for you to mess around with, I personally just use the default settings because, to be honest, I already like how it looks without changing anything. Another add-on that I've been getting asked about a lot is Immersion. This add-on changes your quest and gossip frames. Instead of seeing the standard Blizzard quest frame when talking to a quest giver, Immersion transforms it into a simpler, more immersive frame. Now what I like most about this add-on is that you can spam the spacebar to quickly accept and turn in quests. This is especially great for someone like me, who's leveled over 100 characters to level 70 plus and has had to deal with a lot of quests. Now there's another add-on that you could use instead called Dialogue UI. It does something similar to Immersion, but instead of a super simple and clean quest frame, it gives you this really nice looking frame with more of an RPG vibe. Dialogue UI can also be fully customized by pressing F1. And it even has a dark mode that looks really good. Now I actually use both add-ons depending on what I'm doing. If I'm rushing an alt to max level, I will use Immersion for speed. But if I'm doing content that I've never done before, I will switch to Dialogue UI. So yeah, if you want to change up how your quest and gossip frames look, I'd definitely recommend checking out Immersion and Dialogue UI. Next we have TomTom, which is pretty much a must-have add-on if you are doing outdoor content, and sometimes even indoor content. Now what you can do with TomTom is very simple. You give it coordinates and it will navigate you to those coordinates. For example, let's say you are in Borealis and you want to find the archaeology trainer, but have no idea where she's located. You can go to WoW Addon, look up the archaeology trainer in Borealis, click on her pin and copy the TomTom command. Then paste that command in the game and you will see a green arrow pointing you right to her location. That's basically it. It's really simple. Now just keep in mind that you need to be in the correct zone for the copied TomTom command to work. Now this add-on is super useful for treasure locations, rares, vendors, and even some of the glory achievements. It also works really well with all the things, but we will talk about that later. So yeah, overall this is a great add-on and I'd highly recommend getting it. So now it's time for one of my favorite add-ons, Narcissus. You can do so many things with this add-on, it's crazy. It not only gives you a cool new looking character UI, a bigger transmog display and the ability to save presets at the barber, but it also gives a great photo mode. First let's talk about the character UI that comes with this add-on. By default, if you double tap C, it will open up this new character window. In my opinion, it looks way better than the default Blizzard UI. If you have socketed gear, you can immediately see if gems are missing. If you've enchanted a gear piece, you can instantly see which enchant is on it. And, of course, if you click on a gear piece, you can swap it with any gear that you have in your bag. Now on the right side, you can instantly see all of your important stats, your item level, how many tier pieces you have equipped, and your renown level. Now that's just one of the things that this add-on does. Another great feature is the ability to save your character's preset at the barber. This is awesome if you are someone that likes to mess around a lot with how your character looks. If you are at the barber and like the way that your character looks, you can simply just save that preset by clicking Save New Look. Then eventually whenever you are messing around with your appearance again and you end up with an appearance that you really don't like, then you can just simply click on Load Preset and your character will look fine again. Another thing that's awesome, especially for people like me that like to create cool looking transmog sets, is how Narcissus handles the dressing room. When you preview a transmog piece on your character, Narcissus opens up this big ass dressing room window where you can see the item in detail on your character. Now that's not all, there's a lot more. The dressing room has a couple more useful features as well. Let's say you want to see how your character looks without a chest piece, helmet or any other item. All you gotta do then is just click on a gear piece under your character and it will hide that item. Now you will also notice 3 different icons whenever the dressing room is open. The first one is the turntable icon. Clicking this opens up another window where you can see your character and a list of the transmog items that you are wearing. This is perfect if you want to share your transmog on places like, for example, the WoW Transmog Reddit. Then you have the eye icon. After clicking on it, you can click on another player and it will show you how their transmog set looks on your character and what items they are using. This is perfect if you see someone with a cool looking transmog but have no idea what pieces they are wearing. Lastly, we have the copy icon. This basically lets you copy your transmog set and share it with others. Now, another major feature of Narcissus is the photo mode. This is the thing that I use a lot as someone that makes WoW videos. Now, to activate photo mode, all you have to do is right-click the Narcissus icon and select the photo mode option. When it's on, a 3D model of your character will appear on the right side of your screen, along with a lot of options for you to mess around with. Now, let's say you want to create a screenshot without that big 3D model of your character in the way. Then all you have to do is just toggle the 3D model option. Once you've done that, you can position your character where you want it in the screenshot, hover your mouse to the bottom left of your screen, and you will find extra screenshot settings. Now, the options that I use the most are the top quality option, which maxes out your graphics to get the best quality screenshots, and sometimes I mess around with the camera settings to change the FOV or offset. Now, once you are happy with how everything looks, hover with your mouse to the bottom right of your screen and click on the camera icon, or just simply press the print screen button. Now, if you want to get even more creative, you can use the 3D model instead of your in-game character. This is what I use for thumbnails or animations in my videos. Now, to do this, you have to open up the photo mode and click on hide player to remove your in-game character. Then you have to click on the mask icon, which is located next to the 3D model option, to choose a background color. Once you've done that, you can adjust the lighting, choose an animation to make your character pose the way that you want it to pose, or add visual effects to make your character look exactly how you want. After that, you can finally take a screenshot and edit it in Photoshop, After Effects, or whatever program you use for editing pictures or videos. Now, Narcissus also lets you take group photos. This feature allows you to add literally almost anything that you can find in the game to your picture, and you can even select a frame. With these frames, you can recreate login screens or character selection screens, which is really cool. Now, if you hover over the plus icon and select NPC browser, you can search for NPCs. Once you've added them, you can control their animations, lighting, and more. But yeah, that's pretty much the basics of the photo mode. There's so much more you can mess around with, but those are basically the photo mode features that I use the most. That's it for Narcissus. I seriously can't recommend it enough. It's easily one of my all-time favorite add-ons, basically right up there with the next add-on that I'm going to talk about now. So now it's time for probably my most favorite add-on in the entire game, All the Things. This is an add-on that shows you everything that you still need to collect in the game. Transmog, titles, mounts, pets, achievements, literally everything. Now, I will be completely honest with you. If this add-on didn't exist, I probably would have stopped playing WoW a long time ago. At least retail WoW. Now, as someone who really dislikes how Blizzard has handled endgame content, like Mythic Plus and raiding, since around BFA, I'm really glad that there's an add-on like this. It keeps me busy and gives me something to do after leveling my characters to max. Without it, I'd probably just get bored and stop playing. Oh man, like, the last time that I entered the Mythic Plus dungeon, I literally fell asleep. Now, whenever someone asks me what type of game retail WoW is, I always tell them that for me personally, it's turned into this weird collection game. I'm sorry guys, I'm getting off topic here. I might make a separate video to talk a bit about that, but for now, let's get back to All the Things. Now, this add-on is perfect for someone that loves collecting things in World of Warcraft. After you install it, you will see a small window on your screen showing everything that you are missing in the zone that you're currently in. If you don't see it, you can always type /ATT-mini to make it pop up. Now, just a heads up though, this add-on is a bit heavy. I've got a decent PC now, but before this one, oh boy, it sounded like an airplane was taking off in my room every time I ran it. Now, when you type /ATT, the main All the Things window will pop up. Here you can browse through everything that you're still missing in the game. For example, if you want to see which items you are missing from the Emerald Nightmare, you just click on Dungeons and Raids, then Legion, and finally the Emerald Nightmare. It will show you every item that you are missing and which difficulty you need to farm to get it. Now, the add-on isn't just listing all of the items that you are missing. If you hover over something, it will also give you extra info. For example, let's say you hover over Elysia, the fisher that sells some rare items in Azuna. you will see a tooltip explaining that she's not always up and giving you other useful details. Now remember earlier, whenever I said that TomTom really works well with all the things, here's why. Let's say you want to check if Alicia the Fisher is up. All you have to do is hold Alt and right click on her name in all the things. This will send her coordinates straight to TomTom. Now all you have to do then is just follow the green arrow to see if she's up. This works for rares, treasures and NPCs. It's awesome. Now if you click on the All the Things icon located on your minimap or right click on the zone name in the small All the Things window, you will open up the settings menu. Here you can mess around with a lot of options to make the add-on only show you the things that you actually care about. For example, you can filter out entire categories like pet battles and battle pets if you don't care about them. There is also an unobtainables tab where you can enable or disable certain types of content. Personally, I have it all disabled because I don't really care about items locked behind a paywall. Like for example, store mounts that cost around $90 or 80 euros I think, transmog or battle pets. Now the only option in that tab that might be worth enabling is the black market auction house. You can also customize how your All the Things window looks by going to the interface tab in the settings. There you will find plenty of options to adjust the appearance to your liking. So yeah guys, that's pretty much it for All the Things. Now like I mentioned earlier, this is my most favorite add-on, so I would highly recommend downloading it if you have a PC that can handle it. Next up is Leatrix Plus, which is a quality of life add-on that offers a lot of small but incredibly handy features. For example, it can automatically sell junk items, repair your gear, skip cinematics, and even turn off error messages. It also lets you automatically decline party invites and duel requests, which is nice if you are tired of these fully geared PvP Andes spamming duel requests. Now, if you are not using Dialog UI or Immersion, you can also enable the option to automatically accept and turn in quests. This saves so much time whenever you are leveling alts or doing dailies. Plus, this add-on lets you hide UI elements that you don't need, customize chat settings, and even customize your minimap. Oh, by the way, to access the settings, all you have to do is type /LTP and the Leatrix Plus settings window will pop right up. Now, one of my favorite features, especially as someone who spends a lot of time farming transmog and mounts, is the easy destroy items option. This allows you to delete items without having to type delete every single time. This can save you a lot of time cleaning up your bags. Now, another thing that I really like a lot about Leatrix Plus is the media section. Here you will find a collection of sounds, cinematics, and more that you can view at any time without having to go back to a specific quest or raid, which is nice if you are making World of Warcraft content. Next up we have DBM. Now honestly, if you are doing any kind of endgame content, this add-on becomes pretty much necessary. It helps with so many things. For example, it tells you exactly when and what bosses are going to cast. It warns you if you are standing too close to someone while you have a debuff. It gives you alerts when you need to interrupt, move, or CC something. This add-on even auto-replies to people that are whispering you while you are busy with an encounter. And these are just a few things that DBM does. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Blizzard eventually nerfs add-ons like Deadly Boss Mods and WeakAuras, because with these add-ons you can basically just focus on DPSing the boss, wait for the add-on to tell you what to do, whether it's interrupting, moving, or clicking on something, and then immediately go right back to DPSing. It's almost like the game is playing itself for you, if that makes sense. But hey, this has been the case for so many years now, so we will see what happens. Anyway, just like with the other add-ons I've talked about, you can customize DBM a lot. If you type /DBM, it will bring up the settings menu. Here you can mess around with a lot of stuff, like the color of encounter warnings, the font, the sounds for alerts. There is so much you can customize. Now, I don't have DBM enabled much right now, because like I've mentioned before, I'm not really enjoying any of the endgame content at the moment. I'm hoping that changes with the upcoming Undermine patch, because I really like the aesthetics of that patch. That being said, DBM isn't just for current content. You can also install versions of DBM for older expansion raids and dungeons. Now, as someone who's created a lot of Glory of the Raider and Glory of the Dungeon Hero solo guides, these DBM add-ons for older raids and dungeons really help out a lot. Because, for example, sometimes you need to react to specific boss mechanics at the right time. And DBM shows you when the boss is going to do that specific mechanic, which is super useful. So yeah, that's it for Deadly Boss Mods. Now, like I said, this add-on is a must-have if you are doing endgame activities like raiding or Mythic Plus. But if you are planning on soloing some of these glory achievements, I would also highly recommend checking out this add-on because it will make doing some of these achievements a lot easier. Next up we have WeakAuras. Now this is actually also a pretty big add-on. You can basically just make an entire separate video for this add-on, but I'll just try to keep it simple. WeakAuras lets you display customizable graphics on your UI to track buffs, debuffs, cooldowns, and a lot more. Now there is even an entire website or premade WeakAuras. You can find the link in the description below. Here you can just search for what you need and paste it into the game. If I want to track my WoW currencies on the right side of my screen, I can find a WeakAura for it, copy the string, paste it in game, and that's it. Now it's there on the right side of my screen. Now I mainly use WeakAuras when I'm playing a spec I'm not super familiar with. Like for example Shadow Priest. When I'm playing a spec like that, I will use Luxtos' class WeakAuras. Now I've been using Luxtos' class WeakAuras for years now, because I think that his class WeakAuras are just the best out there. So here's how to get his class WeakAuras and how it works. First you have to go to Luxtos' website, the link is in the description below. After that you can click on the class that you want the WeakAuras for. So in my case I click on the priest. Then you click on the copy button, which will basically just copy the entire string. And after that all you have to do is go back to your game, type /WA, hit the import button, paste the code that you just copied on his website, and click import. Now once that's done, Luxtos' WeakAuras will display all your important abilities, cooldowns, and resources. It even warns you if you are missing buffs like Power Word Fortitude, or if you are not in your shadow form. It's basically a full setup for your class and spec, and you can even customize it if you want. Personally, I leave it as it is because I already like Luxtos' default layout. But if you want to customize it, you can do so. Those are some of my favorite add-ons, along with a few that just make playing WoW feel a bit better. Before we end this video, there are a few other add-ons that I quickly want to mention, because some of you might find them useful as well. Minimap Button Bag Reborn, or in short, MBB Reborn, helps you clean up your minimap by organizing all those cluttered add-on icons into a single pop-out menu. Some add-ons let you open up their settings by clicking on their minimap button, but all those add-on buttons end up all over the place. Now with MBB you can just click on its button to expand the menu and access all of your add-on icons in one place. Now another add-on worth checking out is SilverDragon Rare Scanner. This add-on helps you track rares and rare treasures in WoW. If you have enemy nameplates turned on, it will even scan for the names of known rares in the area. Now whenever it detects a rare, you will get a notification, and if you click on it, the add-on will target the rare for you. Now the last thing that I want to talk about isn't an add-on, but instead it's a really useful website if you are into collecting mounts. This website is called Simple Armory. You can find the link to this website in the description below. Now when you visit the website, select your realm and enter your character name, then navigate to collectibles and select mounts, you will be able to turn on the mount planner feature. Whenever you do that, the site will start generating an optimized route to help you farm the mounts that you are missing. It's an awesome tool for mount collectors and can save you a lot of time. Anyway guys, that's it for this add-on video. Let me know in the comment section what your favorite add-on is. I'm always curious to see what other people are using, and I might actually try it out myself. Now, I hope that this video was helpful for some of you, and that you've liked the video. If you did, and you want to see more content like this, then please consider subscribing. Now with that being said, thanks for watching, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.